Hello students. So students, in the previous class, in the chapter that is pollution of air and water, we had completed this chapter. So in this chapter, student, we had discussed a lot of a thing like that of what we understand by the pollution of air, what we understand by pollution of water, what are the different pollutants which are responsible for causing the air and that of the water pollution. Now, not only this, that what are the different causes also, means how the nature as well as the human beings are responsible for causing the pollution of air and water, as well as what are the different ways by which we can prevent the pollution. Okay, so prevention, causes and the pollutant, we have discussed all of the things in the in chapter pollution of air and water. So since we have completed this chapter, so now it is time to see the different question answers of this chapter. Some of the questions which may come to that of the exam. So you see, students, here it is the first question already has written. That is, what are the different ways by which water gets contaminated? So you know that when we say contaminated, what does that mean? That how the water get polluted, right? And we are knowing that there are different causes by which water gets polluted, means water get contaminated. Okay, so contaminated, when we use this term, actually we are talking about the undesirable things and the things which we don't want it, which is very harmful for us. And if it get mixed with that of the certain resource, natural resource, either it can be air or that of a water, so we will say that it get contaminated. In this question, we are talking about that what are the different ways by which water get contaminated. It means we are talking about that how water get polluted. So we have to see that what are the different causes which is responsible for causing the water pollution. Okay. So answer of this question, students. So you see, students, the first thing, we'll start from ourselves, that the people are responsible. How? The people, they used to dispose the garbage in the water. So you have seen that the wrappers and your household waste products and everything, they used to throw it in the water. Okay, and this will makes the water dirty, as well as it will be, you can say that it will also harm the water, because you see, if we talk about the laundry waste and even the feces and the urine, all these things will get disposed into the water. So ultimately it consisting of microbes. So it will not going to hamper only the biological characteristic, but yes, absolutely the physical also, because it makes water looks dirty. Okay, so we can write the first point it. The first point of this answer is people. People, they used to dispose the water. So we can write it, the people, they used to dispose of the garbage. Dispose of garbage in water. Okay. So they used to dispose of the garbage in the water. So we can say that the first ways by which the water get contaminated is the people itself. They used to dispose of the garbage in the water. So we can say this is the first cause of the water pollution. What about the second one, students? So not only the people, but you have seen the industries. So industries used to release a lot of industrial waste material. And these industrial waste materials consisting of toxic substances, toxic chemicals are there, student, including mercury is there, arsenic is there. So all this will get mixed into the water without, we can say without undergoing treatment, means without removal of that chemical substance. And ultimately it will enter into the food chain of the aquatic living organism and causes several disease, and not to all the aquatic one, but to the other living organism who will consume such kind of a water. Okay, so we can say the second is that industries. So many industries used to release, used to discharge, we can say, many chemical substances. Many chemical substances in the water. Okay, so many industries, they used to discharge such kind of chemical substances into the water. Water, it can be river, it can be stream, or any kind of water bodies. Okay, so the first one is the people disposes of garbage in the water, and the second one is many industries used to discharge many chemical substances in the water. Now, is it the only two? No, students, there can be many more. Like you see, agriculture. So, using of the pesticide and even agricultural runoff, you can say. So, using of pesticide or using of insecticide, this will not only hamper that of the groundwater, but it will run off with that of the rainwater and finally mixes into the water bodies. Ultimately, it will degrade the quality of the water. You are knowing, student, that if suppose we will use the pesticides or insecticides, so these pesticide and insecticides seeps into the soil and it will enter into that of the water surface of the groundwater. And you will see that since it consisting of a lot of a nutrient, so it will makes or it will increases the growth of algae and other weeds, and which leads for more consumption of oxygen, making the water oxygen deficient, and finally it causes the death of the other aquatic living organisms due to the deficiency of oxygen. Okay, and this process we called it as a eutrophication also, eutrophication. Okay, now not only this, but the water means this pesticides consisting of chemicals, and this will run off with water and comes and finally mixes into the water bodies. Okay, so ultimately we can say that it will mixes into the water bodies, and when the aquatic living organism they take it, it will cause a death to them. Okay, so the next one we can say, student, that point is use of the chemical fertilizers. Okay, in the agriculture we use different chemical fertilizers, and these chemical fertilizers also fertilizers in agriculture also causes water pollution. So I told you, student, that how it causes a water pollution. So you see that these fertilizers will finally mixes into the water due to agriculture runoff, and thus makes the water more nutrient rich, and deficiency of oxygen occur in the water. Finally, students, you see that not only this, but you can see the untreated sewage is there, that will also get mixes with the water. Okay, so we can say that due to human activities, the untreated sewage will enter into, or it is released into the water, and finally it will causes a water pollution. Okay, so we can say that untreated water directly get disposed in the water without treating it. Without treating it. Okay. So now if you see, student, this is the answer of the first question, that is what are the different ways by which the water get contaminated. So the first one I didn't want to inform you about it, that is the people they used to dispose the garbage and the other waste material into the water. Second one is the industries. They used to release a lot of chemical substances, toxic chemical substances, and these chemical substances mixes with the water. and finally it will cause it will enter into the food chain of the aquatic living organism and ultimately death of the living organisms. If you see the agriculture students or farmers, to increase the crop yield and to protect their crop, they use the fertilizers. Not only fertilizers, but they use insecticides and pesticides also. And these insecticide, pesticides, fertilizers consisting of chemicals. It is made up of chemicals. So when they use it, it will ultimately enter into the water. And okay, so you see, and the last one is the untreated water. Actually, it will be untreated sewage water. Okay, so untreated sewage water directly get disposed in the water without treating it. So because of these three reasons, students, because of these four reasons, we can say that water get contaminated. Now we will move to the next question. Okay, now you see the next question, students. And the next question is, you see, if we talk, question is that at an individual level, how can you help to reduce air pollution? So question is this, students, that at an individual level, how is it possible for you to control the air pollution, or how you are able to prevent air pollution? So we are knowing that there are various ways, student, by which we can prevent the air pollution, and these are the first thing that we have learned in the controlling the air pollution, that is better we should take the public transport, because you are knowing that if the people they use the private vehicles, so individually if you are using the private vehicle, everybody is using their private vehicle, so ultimately it will releases a more of a harmful gases. So better the people should prefer the carpooling or that of a public transport as much as possible to you can say that to decrease the release of the harmful air or harmful gases into the air. Okay, so we can say that better to use the first one. So the first one you will use of public transport. As far as possible. So use of public transport is important. Now not only this, we can make aware people about that of air pollution, student. We can make people to understand that what are the consequences, what are the problems a person or the people or the city can suffer from if there is a continuous increase in that of a pollution level or in a air pollution. So better we should aware people about what are the harmful effect of that of air pollution, so that they can understand that how can we protect our nature, how can we protect our air from being polluted. Okay, so we can write it. Generate awareness among people about to reduce the air pollution. Reduce air pollution. Okay, by generating the awareness. Now not only this, we will make people aware as well as we ourselves as an individual. We can prefer the afforestation. You are knowing that the cutting more and more trees will ultimately leads to the pollution, and if we plant more and more trees, So the plants or the trees, they help in purifying the air. So we can say that afforestation help in reducing the air pollution. So the next one, we can say that planting more and more trees. Planting more and more trees. That will also help in reducing the air pollution. Okay. Now, you see, student, earlier people, they use cycle, or they used to go by walk if the distance is short. But these days, the people, they don't prefer it. Better they should they should go to their vehicles in order to save time also, you can say, or in order they don't want to walk like that. So better for a short distance, we should not prefer any kind of a vehicle, we should walk. Okay, so ultimately it will help in reducing the air pollution. So we can say that not use of vehicle for short distance. For short distance. So you see, student, these are some of the things that we can do as an individual to prevent the increase in the level of the air pollution, or to control the air pollution. First thing, student, as an individual person, better what should I do, that I can use the public transport as far as possible, because using of a public transport help in reducing the air pollution, help in reducing the number of vehicles on the road, and ultimately it will help in reducing the air pollution. Next one, student, that we had discussed is that generate awareness among the people to reduce the air pollution. We make people aware that how it will be harmful for us if the air continuously get polluted, and if the release of such harmful gases will going to affect us only, all the living organism on the earth only. Planting more and more trees, we will make people aware, as well as we as an individual also believes in planting more and more trees, because the trees help in purifying the air and it help in reducing the air pollution. So afforestation is also a solution of air pollution. Next one is not use for the vehicle for a shorter distance. If you are going in a short place and in a place with a short distance from our home or from our office, better we should not use vehicle for that, and it help in reducing the air pollution. So these are the things that we can do as an individual level. Next question is, we'll move to the next question, students. You can check the third question. Third question is about the clear and transparent water. So let me write the question and then we will discuss the answer here. So the question is, clear, transparent water is not always, clear and transparent water is always fit for drinking. Always fit for drinking, comment. So see here, students. So see here, you can see that there is a statement is given that a clear, transparent water is always fit for drinking. So is it correct? No. You are knowing that this statement is not at all correct. Why is it so? Okay, we are saying that water is a transparent, its nature is colorless. If it is clear, then ultimately you will always think that yes, water is now okay to drink. Now just tell me one thing. If suppose you are getting a water from the river, and the river water is now, it is clear, is a clean and is transparent, it is colorless, means physically when you are seeing it, you find it that yes, it is okay to drink now. So are you going to drink it? No. Why is it so? Because you are knowing that it is not necessary that if it is a physically fit, it should be biologically fit. It means maybe that it consisting of a microbes or it consisting of a germs in it. Okay, and that could possibly causes a disease to us. So we can say that here the statement does not talk about that it should be free from any germs or microbes, students. Here simply the statement says that the clear and the transparent water is always fit for the drinking. It means if you are going to drink such kind of a water, it is okay for us. It will not going to cause any kind of a problem. But you are knowing that water should not only be clear and transparent, but it should be free from any kind of a chemicals. It should be free from any kind of a germs in it. So we will say that this statement is not correct. Okay, so we can write it. No. Clear, transparent, water is not always fit for drinking. It is fit for drinking. This water may consist of germs or disease causing microbes, students, or disease causing microbes, microorganisms. So we have to purify it. We have to purify water before drinking. Okay, so we can say that it is not necessary that water, if it seems that it is clear, so it should be good and it is ready for the consumption. Better we should not only see that it is physically it is fit, but we should also see that it does not consisting of any harmful chemicals as well as the disease causing microorganism. If it is free from all these, students, that yes, we can say that that water will be ready for us. It is fit for us to consume such kind of a water. Okay. Now we will move to the next question, student. Question is that if you are a member of a municipal corporation, you have seen, student, that we also learned about that how can we treat water, means before consuming, how can we make water to be a potable water. You are knowing about it, that what is a potable water. Potable water is a water which is fit for us. So next question is that you are a member of a municipal body of your town and make a list of a measure that you would make a list of a measure that you would help your town to ensure the supply of a clean water. Clean water. So you see, students, that you are a part or a member of a municipal corporation and you have to make a list that how you will help your town to ensure that they are getting the clean water. There is a supply of a clean water in your locality, in your town. Okay, so you see student, a lot of a measure that we can take. We can make water fit for the people who are living in their town by adding something like by cleaning it. Okay, and these the various steps which involve in it are the measures that we can take to make water fit and make it to supply to that of the town. So we can clean the water by using different measures, and these are the first measure that you can take it. So chlorine tablet. You know that a chlorination is very important to students. You are knowing that when the water consisting of germs, so chlorination, we will make it to send into the chlorination tank, and there the release of a chlorine gas occur. This chlorine gas help in killing the microorganism, help in killing the germs which is present in it. So we can say that chlorination is very important. Instead of that, students, you can use a chlorine tablet, whatever, but it should be chlorine, but which. So we can say that the first one we can write is the use of a chlorine tablet. So chlorine tablet should be made available. Should be made available. The second point, student, that we can write is the proper cleaning of the tank time to time. Now you see, students, when the purification of the water occur for the public distribution, at that time the water already get purified by different processes. Even then also, when the water comes to the head storage tank, again it reaches to the pipes to the different houses. The people, they used to purify it because it also consisting of a sand. Sometimes it consisting of a microorganism also. So people, they used to purify it by boiling, by using RO, by using filters. Okay. So better that being a member of a municipal corporation, that we should clean the tank from time to time, so that if the dust or any kind of impurities will be there, it will not cause the water impure. Okay, so we can say that proper cleaning of the water from proper cleaning of water tank from, so proper cleaning of a water tank from time to time is very important. Okay, if we clean the water tank from time to time, that should be good. Now you see, student, there are two pipes which used to come from our house, and it comes out from from the house. Okay, so one pipe is there which carries the water from the head storage tank and reaches to the tap of our houses. Okay, so one pipe is there that consisting of a water, we can say that is a water supply pipe, and it reaches to the respective homes of that locality, of that city, students. Okay, and one pipe is there which used to carry the waste material. Okay, means it consisting of the sewage water, it consisting of a dirty water or the waste water which is going outside from our houses. So better we should avoid the contact of both of the water pipes. Okay, so if the sewage water pipe does not get in contact with the water supply pipe, ultimately there will be no such kind of a pollution occur. There will be no the water get polluted because of that. Okay, so we can do one more thing, that the water supply pipe should not come in contact with that of a sewage water pipe. So we should always take care of that. Okay, so we can write it. That is the third point. It's a very important point, student. And the water supply pipe should not comes in contact with the sewage pipe. So you see, student, that these are the different measures that we should a person can take if he or she is a member of a municipal body, municipal corporation. So there they can take care that proper chlorination of the water is occurring, and for that he or she should make the chlorine tablets available so that the water get easily purified. It will be free from the germs. The storage, the head storage tank from where the water gets supplied from the pipes to the different houses, it should be clean from time to time. And finally, the two pipes, which one carry the good water and the other one is carrying the waste water. These two water does not get in contact with each other and ultimately not going to contaminate the water. Okay, so these are some of the measures that we should take.